What is alchemy? It's a word that's often loosely used, casually used, and it's worthwhile to have a precise and rigorous definition. So on the one hand, it is a description of processes that you could say transforms a base material into a pure and refined material, lead to gold, or you might say it's a sequence of processes that is simply a purification where we are removing impurities to arrive at the essential core purity at the base of being. Of course, the English word comes from the Egyptian tradition. We use it to translate the Chinese words "nei dan" or "dan." "Dan" means cinnabar, literally. We take it to mean elixir. Cinnabar is this bright red substance, has some real world attributes, but is also symbolic of pure yang. So the elixir is the presence or the presencing of the original pure yang in the body when we're talking about inner alchemy. External alchemy, weighed on, is a different discussion. So I'll leave that for another time. My interest, practice, teaching is concerned with inner alchemy. Inner alchemy is traditionally said to have 4 or 5 stages, depending on how you count. Foundation may or may not include the first stage, but there is a transformation, a restoration, and then a transformation of Jing essence. This is the most material level. And then Jing essence joins with Qi energy. And so we start to move up the spectrum between materiality to immateriality. And you could also see this in terms of purification. And then the Qi layer merges with, transforms into Shen spirit, which is the most immaterial layer that still is at least somewhat individually distinct. So it is, on one hand, spirit, and on the other hand, it is your spirit. Then beyond that, we transform the spirit, or merge the spirit with emptiness, and then emptiness with Tao. So this is the progression. Jing, Qi, Shen, emptiness, Tao. Material, subtle, immaterial, empty, totality, unity. So this is the process. And then what is the practice that it refers to? Well, Li Daochun in 12th or 13th century, 13th, I think, organized it well into a separate process for what he calls internal medicine and another for external medicine. And in my view, alchemy proper really just refers to the internal medicine process. And this process begins at the Shen to spirit to emptiness stage of the process. Now, depending on cultural contexts and a kind of grand cycle of human relationship to spirit that is described in great detail in the Indian articulations of the yugas, and described in lesser detail in the Tao Te Ching, these stages of being, either ascending or descending, from a kind of coarse general orientation to a refined, there's no need to alter anything, golden age of all beings are essentially enlightened. Depending where you are in that great human cycle, great sentient being cycle of existence, different tools are needed. And then, of course, that's a nested relative fractal understanding, such that in any given time, there will also be a spectrum, and some people will need coarser methods, and some people will need only the most refined methods. And in my view, we're in a bit of a transition from the ending of a coarse time of conflict and delusion, and entering a time in which things are moving the other way, moving toward refinement and purification and enlightenment of all sentient beings. So I sometimes refer to it as the age of accelerated revelation. It is my view, and it could be a limited historical view, but I think it is a broadly perceived, accurate view. We shall see. It's my view that people are opening to spirit, to initial recognition, faster and faster, and in greater and greater numbers. And so I think it's relevant to focus on the higher level alchemical teachings, just as in our very short historical moment, we see a focus on, within the spiritual teachings, a focus on go direct to the non-dual teachings in whatever tradition, whether it's Dzogchen or Advaita Vedanta, or in the Taoist case, Wei Wu Wei, the doing, non-doing, the Qingjing Wu Wei, clear, still, non-action approach to meditation and realization and practice. So the internal medicine framework for internal alchemy starts at this point of recognition. So either via the transmission of a master, or via the accidental encounter in the turbulence of being, one is suddenly in direct experience, direct encounter of a timeless, spaceless non-being with the understanding of its essential nature to all being and all-encompassing nature with respect to all being. So this is not enlightenment. We can more productively relate to it as the initial awakening. It is recognition, but it is the beginning of the process, because even though we have moments, glimpses in meditation, in life, of no self, of radiant emptiness, and a state of being without qualities or characteristics. There is subsequently a process in which one allows that recognition to work through all the aspects of being and kind of massage out the aspects of your understanding, your processing of sensory experience that are not in alignment with that understanding, direct understanding of reality. And so, an internal medicine path of internal alchemy, we begin with this recognition, and then we set the orientation of our compass. We set our intention, which is associated with Yang, Earth, Wu, and in Li Daochun's diagram, at the center is Yang and Yin aspects of Earth. Earth means self, integrity, vessel, center. So we establish this intention with great decisiveness to become fully enlightened, to follow the consequences of this recognition to its ultimate endpoint. And this decision and this clear decide once and never revisit choice it is very important. It's essential. So we have recognition, we have the decision, setting the intention, and then we have faith or confidence. We have to, in order to maintain that decision, and the decision includes the intention to remain, to the best of our ability, in that stateless state, perpetually, 24/7. And then we must establish faith and confidence, both in our experience and kind of shore it up with the confidence that this process leads to complete, total realization, complete reality, as we say, the completion of realization. All of those conjugations are relevant. So that's alchemy from my perspective. Begins with recognition. It is impelled by choice, intention, decision. It is sustained by faith, confidence. And this is a path of non-doing. This is the alchemy of Lao Tzu and the Tao Te Ching. This is, in Taoism, the highest path. So alchemy is a framework for holding this idea, understanding, for holding the practice, and for passing it on. So that's all for now. It is a topic that deserves many returns.